The 2K Sports Pregame Show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here. And I'm really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here too.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Yeah, me too. And it is Magic basketball tonight as the Orlando Magic go up against the Wizards in Washington. Well, for Washington, they split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. After a brisk off-season, it's finally upon us, fellas.
What's that?
Opening night.
Oh, tonight's opening night?
Hey,
oh, those are preseason games.
Shaq, your thoughts on how important it is for a team to get off to a fast start?
Well, early wins gives you confidence.
Oh, do they ever?
Makes you more intimidating to play against.
Oh, does it ever?
I'm so excited. I miss you guys this summer.
Oh, I know. What have you been doing?
I'm happy to be here. I went to China about 59 times.
Yeah.
I went to Cancun 72 times.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the North Pole twice.
Oh, wow.
Wow, how's
so
that?
a pretty uneventful summer for you.
It was bad. I was looking for Santa. I couldn't find him.
Okay, well, you're not supposed to. The fans, the local media, everyone is excited. And I just am excited to be here, start of the season, and you don't want to start slow. You don't want to have any rough patches early on.
What'd you do this summer?
I went fishing.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Catch anything?
Fishing. Yes, I did. I went to Dubai and went deep sea fishing.
Wow, awesome. So you were traveling all over the place? You go deep sea fishing?
What'd you do?
I cut the grass. It was awesome. Well, that wraps it up. Let's go courtside.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
I never wanna waste your time. My life, so precious. It's yours, it's mine. Hey, look at the time. My God, so precious. It's yours, it's mine.
This is Kevin Harlan alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. We'll be catching up in a bit from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. It's the Orlando Magic taking on the Washington Wizards. In what should be an exciting game to watch, 2 of the most athletic teams in the league. Doris, what are the keys in this one?
Well, you'd think it would be about the pace, but to me, when there's this level of athletic ability, it's about the execution and patience on offense, and certainly you've got to sprint back in transition defense.
Now the starting group for Orlando. Payton and Fournier are the 1 and the 2. The big men are Gordon and Vucevic, and it's Isaac in at the small forward position. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession. Here's Vucevic. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And just like that, first lead of the game.
Well, this is how you want to get out of the gate. Set the tempo. Perfect way to open this up.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
It couldn't have come at a better time. With the score being as close as it is, he had to make that play.
And that one falls for John Wall. I think everyone can now agree that John Wall is one of the better point guards in the NBA.
No doubt. At this point, when you factor in his production, he's got to be in the top 5, if not top 3 guards in the league. One of the better passers we have as well. It's just hard to find guards that can create so easily. the way Wall can. I love watching Isaac find the open teammate. Has great floor awareness out there and just knows when one of his guys has a clean look.
Check out that assist. You can tell a player who's seeing the whole floor very well.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Frank Vogel had a few minutes to share with me. On defense, he said, quote, "We're going to have to neutralize their high flyers. We can't play above the rim against these guys. Whatever it takes, we need to shut down the lane." See if they are able to do that during the game, Kevin.
Thank you, David. There's Gordon with the three, and again, it's the Magic from deep.
Lights out here, right out of the gate. Perfect 4-4 from the floor.
And it's Gortat, that time on the assist from Porter. Gortat's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, we know this about Gortat. He's solid in the mid-range. You can't just think he's going to be at the rim all the time.
That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
Gordon a screen. On the wing, Gordon. And they double up Gordon. And it's Vucevic in the corner. Right wing. Shot clock at 6. The Magic need to get a shot off here. The shot's good from Fournier.
Impressive. 5 straight makes. Love the play calling here.
Morris with the bucket. Morris has got his second basket of the night.
Well, the thing about Markieff Morris, he does a terrific job converting inside.
Fournier with the ball. Now Beal defending. And Fournier kicks to Vucevic. Here's Isaac. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And here we go. Washington fast break. Beal's running. Count the basket. And that'll tie this game up.
Oh, that's a tough finish by Beal. Undaunted by the D.
Got a piece of it. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Orlando's gone 3 of 4 on three-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range. For 3, Fournier. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Payton's got 4 assists now tonight. Morris outside, over Gordon. Again, the Wizards, good for 2. The Magic have gotten 6 or 7 shots to fall in the first quarter. They're off and running from deep. Offensive rebound. Here's Wall.
Stop it! Well, there's your dunk contest champion back in 2014. Wall puts a little extra on that one.
And that replay sponsored by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment, giving us an excellent perspective on the play. Isaac misses. On offense, here are the Wizards. They're on a 14-6 run. That's tipped.
And you got to be careful around Isaac. His length is a problem for the opposition. He stifles shooters with that reach.
Payton with the ball. He's picked up by Wall. And they double up Payton. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Payton. And let's take a look at the playmaking here. This chart with the assist totals split between the front court and the back court tonight for Washington.
And their big men have taken an active role here as far as distribution is concerned. When you can see over the defense, a lot of times you have an angle to create a pass that might not be there for a smaller man.
Ball against Payton. Pulls up on the wing. That one goes in for him too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
Great start for him. 4-4. He could be in for a big game. And for the Magic, it's really been a musical chairs with their coaches. A lot of churning on the roster, but the pieces still have yet to gel. And honestly, it's been a mess.
It's Porter outside. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession.
Let's take a look here at the numbers for Porter. Good season for him last year. 4th in three-point field goal percentage, and he was in the top 20 in field goal percentage, able to create offense with tremendous efficiency.
And you said it, top 5 percentage from deep. I don't think last year was an aberration. He's one of the deadliest sharpshooters in the game. The Magic making a switch here. Ross is checked in. And if you're running the Magic, Greg, what's the roadmap to contention?
Well, first and foremost, it's always going to have to start through the draft. I mean, you've got to be able to get core pieces there, and then you want to continue to add perimeter shooting and focus on developing your young talent based on the way the game is played today. And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. And again, Washington, no good.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
A floater. Vucevic. Washington with the rebound.
And two teams at vastly different ends of the standings last year, but they played each other to a draw.
You cannot allow Beal to just catch and shoot. That's a warm-up shot for him.
Here's Payton after the made shot from Bradley Beal. Jumps up. Oh, and the dunk by Beal.
Man, this thing is just going back and forth tonight.
Neither team wants to give an inch. This is fun. Both teams trying desperately to seize the momentum.
Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And again, Washington running the court in transition. And the slam dunk by Wall.
I'd say that's an agile finish right there. Wall finding the angle despite the tough defense.
The Magic trail by 4. Now the feed to Fournier. Beal on the double team. Back to Fournier. Passes it to Ross. 6 on the shot clock. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Ross. You know, these are the guys you need to be aware of if you don't want your pocket picked. Here are last season's steals leaders. Second, John Wall.
He showed such tremendous defensive instincts. Trust me, nobody wanted him guarding them last year.
Mahinmi's checked in for the Wizards. Kelly Oubre comes in for Otto Porter Jr. Ross kicks to Payton. Here's Gordon. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Gordon's got 8 points.
And very little defense here to start the game.
Boy, both teams rolling right now on the offensive end. We got a little barn burner cooking.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Yeah, you know, they may have gotten the feeling he would dish it off, but he had a surprise for them.
A 3 from Morris. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
Ooh, with a player this hot, I don't see their lead going anywhere.
John Wall's become one of the best passers in the game. There's no doubt about that. He sets up his teammates very well for scoring.
He really does, Kev. Last year, second in the NBA in assists per game, almost 11 a game. He set the mark for most assists in a single season by a Wizard. What a great passer this guy has been his whole career.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. 1:04 left to play in the first. Here's Azania. And a miss there on the triple. And the Wizards with possession. They're on a 15-6 run.
You know, I think it's interesting. When you talk about being consistent, Jan Mahinmi is a great example. This guy's a solid center who will defend and board for you. So important.
And Doris Mahinmi is not a flashy player by any means.
Right. Jan is a guy who doesn't need to play with flash in order to impact a game. He does a terrific job filling up space on the offensive end when teams collapse off him. And this guy's got a great career field goal percentage because he takes only the shots he knows he can make.
The Magic shooting their first free throws of the evening. That's good from Azania. That misses, so he splits the free throws. And one issue we saw with the Wizards last postseason, Doris, was their bench.
Right, a large part of that is the bench just didn't have any explosive scoring. On the season, their bench was bottom 3 in the league in group efficiency, and that's an area they greatly wanted to improve upon this year.
Here's Azania following the bucket by the Wizards. Here's Simmons, cans the 12-footer.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
Here's Oubre, and that one off the back of the rim and in. Oubre's got his first bucket of the night. Frazier against Simmons. Oubre with the steal. In transition, here come the Wizards. Look at that.
A spectacular finish by Oubre. He's got that airtime to get creative.
14 feet away, and it's Gordon. That time on the assist by Simmons. Gordon's got 14 points.
The defense making it way too easy for him on that jump shot. He'll take that all night.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how they've built this lead. They played as one, shared the basketball, running their offense to perfection.
The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Wizards lead by 10. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And a chance to hear from Bradley Beal. He came from a football family in St. Louis, but said his mother introduced him to the game of basketball at a young age.
She definitely put the ball in my hand. She's the one who taught me my form, I followed through, and still to this day, she yells at me if I miss a shot. So she's kind of a perfectionist, and she definitely taught me how to shoot. She can shoot it, and she still to this day thinks she can shoot better than me.
Maybe some other NBA players should be practicing with Bradley Beal's mom, because she has definitely honed something special into him.
To be sure. I'm just not sure some of the more delicate NBA egos could handle her trash talking once she beats them in a game of horse.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And what stands out to you from Washington in this one?
I mean, they're winning the turnover battle, and oftentimes that can swing things your way.
Well, you really like the activity on the defensive end. Outstanding, jumping into passing lanes and coming up with steals.
Frazier is out there with Jody Meeks. Then there's Oubre. And there's Ian Mahinmi. And it's Smith in at the power forward. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Wizards. Ball's knocked loose. Hezonja kicks to Ross. Doubled by Smith. And the foul called on Jason Smith. That is his first foul of the game. Isaac's checked in for the Magic. Here's Simmons. It's stolen by Smith. Pass to Frazier. Mahinmi dishes to Meeks. Off target from three-point range. Here's Hezonja. Hits the three-point bomb.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
Smith the pass to Oubre. Here's Frazier. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Frazier's got 5 points so far. There's the pass to Hezonja. Back to Simmons. Ross with a wide open look. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Ross has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Here's Oubre, and the Wizards hit again from deep.
He's starting to develop that range. Maybe the stroke isn't perfect, but Oubre showing promise.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic.
Listen, Kelly Oubre comes out of Kansas a little bit as a project. He had unbelievable speed and athleticism and had to impact the game defensively. But he is really starting to expand his role on the offensive end.
And Doris, for Kelly Oubre, you can see the athleticism he has.
No doubt. I mean, the speed is always on display, whether he's on the interior, trying to get out in transition, trying to blow by a defender. Once the finishing catches up, this guy's going to be a nightmare to defend.
This break in the game gives us a chance to look at the teams with the most points off turnovers last season. In the third position, the Wizards.
And they turned all those mistakes into points at the other end. That aggressive style really yielding big dividends.
So it's Orlando now. It's a 14-point game. Inside, here's Ross. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Doris, with so many one-and-dones entering the NBA, do you think expectations are too high for these guys, especially from the fans?
I don't, Kevin. I think it depends on the talent that we're talking about. You know, I know Joel Embiid is a guy who didn't necessarily start right away, but when he was finally able to be healthy, it certainly didn't take him long to become a factor on the NBA level. No, I don't think the expectations are too high. I think these guys are accustomed to expectations, and frankly, their personal expectations are probably higher than ours.
I mean, look at the elite of these high school kids have been playing like in front of big crowds on a big stage for so long. It's second nature to them, don't you think?
No doubt about it, Kevin.
Fournier is checked in for Ross. Shot clock at 5. They set the pick. Off the screen. There it goes. It's in, and the Wizards' lead is cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from Azania.
Yeah, the assist has to go to the screen on that play. Gave him all the room he needed to rise and fire.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Double by Oubre. Dishes it to Fournier. Here's Azania. He's guarded by Meeks. No coverage that time. Fournier's got 11.
You know, we call that great recognition of the situation. Oh! Look at that. This guy's a super quick leaper. Oubre doesn't need much time to get off the floor.
And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Outside, Simmons. Pass to Isaac. Over Smith. It's good, and the Washington lead is cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from Isaac. To the left side wing. Pulls it up. And too long on the shot.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Yeah, that's a surprising miss, Greg. I have a feeling if they get that shot again, they'll knock it down next time.
Oubre with the steal. Shoots from the line. And Frazier with the basket on the assist by Oubre. Oubre's got 3 assists tonight.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration, a turnover, and an easy bucket in transition.
Boy, they're just giving him that shot. An easy opportunity for 3 just slips away.
Meeks. And that one hits back iron. The Magic trail by 11. Here's Azania. He has 6. And Jody Meeks gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Otto Porter Jr. He's checked in for the Wizards.
Well, listen, there's no one around him, and he says thank you very much. Wide open look at 3, as easy as that.
It's tipped. Simmons against Frazier. Out of bounds, magic ball as Orlando keeps possession.
And a moment now to check out the numbers for Fournier. How he did last season. He averaged about 17 points a game, 3 assists and 3 rebounds. And he paced the whole team in points per game last season.
Well, his teammates understood that he was their best option, and understandably, Greg, they got him the rock.
Here's Isaac. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got assist number 8 now on the night.
You know, he's had better starts, obviously, but he's shaking it off here in the second.
This guy, one of the best in the league, finishing on the move. Gortat showing he can also catch and shoot.
And they double up Payton. To the paint, here's Isaac. And he throws it down hard with one hand.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Yeah, and an example of why you want to let the game come to you. The opening presented itself, he converted in a big way.
Kicks it to Biyombo. The dish now to Vucevic. Shoots from the baseline. There it goes. It's in, and the Wizards' lead is cut back down to 5 as they get the points there from Isaac. From deep, Wall. Wall with another miss. Orlando's gone 4 of 6 from long range in the second quarter. Solid shooting. And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
Aaron Gordon, who's checking in for Bismack Biyombo. Orlando shooting their 4th shot at the foul line here.
And a season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
Washington leading now by 3. Well, Greg, for 2 straight seasons before this, the Wizards have had a starting 5 that all average double figures on the year. The engine of this offense, I think, is the backcourt, but they can all hurt you, don't you think?
No doubt about it, Kevin. Having a balanced offense like they do makes it tough for teams to prepare defensively. You can't just double or key in on Wall or Beal because they do a great job of facilitating. I think the bigger question moving forward is just going to be what will the impact of that bench be, and ultimately that's going to determine whether they can contend. And how about the consistency from range tonight? Really impressive.
Well, it is all about the 3-ball nowadays in the NBA. And when he's hitting from there, it's going to make things very tough on the defense.
Here's Payton after marching Gortat's bucket. It's deflected. Gortat with the steal. And now here comes Wall leading the break. It's in and good for his 6th field goal in 10 attempts.
I think they'll keep going to him more and more as they look to hang on to their lead. Why not with the way this guy is shooting it?
They double him with Wall. It's stolen by Wall. Oh, and here comes Wall all alone over Payton. And again, it's John Wall. And now a 3-point Wizards lead.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
And it's Vucevic in the corner. 1:31 left here in the second, and they double up Payton. And here we go. Washington fast break. Wall with the ball. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
Well, this guy not shy about putting it on the deck and attacking the defense. Porter working his way to the stripe.
And last season, Greg, you heard a lot of names brought up for most improved player in the league, and Otto Porter was one of them.
I mean, and I think for Porter, the change came when he just felt more comfortable from deep in terms of shooting. He always had a solid mid-range game, but now he looks comfortable from deep and has become one of the bigger threats we have in the league.
And Wall with the slam.
Well, right now, John Wall is just lights out. He knows he has the hot hand, and he's riding it.
The Magic trail by 7. Feeds to Fournier. Beal on the double team. Beal against Fournier. Picked by Vucevic. Ross for 3. That's in, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp.
Their 3rd 3-pointer in a row.
And Wall kicks to Beal. Shoots the 3. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. Wall's got assist number 8 here in this one already. We'll see if they want to trade 2 for 1 here.
Got to time up that clock to do so.
Ross against Porter. And Gortat over to help. And that's a foul called on Bradley Beal. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. Orlando shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. Second free throw, no good.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Well, the basketball IQ on display for Otto Porter makes the right read there.
The Magic trail by 8. To the inside, and then Gordon with the dunk.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up. Wall, that's good.
That pull-up on the dime, one of the most difficult shots in basketball. Wall making it look easy.
To the middle, Gortat with the steal. Goes up, and Wall with the slam.
Oh, terrific pick. Then kicks it right ahead, turning defense into offense.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect in transition, right? He knew exactly what to do after picking that ball off.
And so it's Washington going into the break with a 10-point lead. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks a lot. John, looks like you're really in attack mode, getting into the paint to get your teammates open.
Oh, man, you see it, man. The lane is open. I'm finding my teammates, and they just get those guys open. That's one thing I said I want to work on since I've been here. I don't want to just be a myself player. I want to be a team player, and they're doing a great job of setting screens, getting me open, and I got to just keep finding them and making shots.
Take what the defense gives you. Thanks, John. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It was a great half of basketball from John Wall. He had 21 points, 2 steals, and 8 assists. He's been playing extremely well lately and making some new highlights for us already in this one. And taking a look at the Wizards, Shaq, what'd you think?
They did an awesome-orific job. That's right, Ernie. Awesome-orific. That's awesome and terrific together. Anyway, they did an awesome-orific job of limiting turnovers. They were almost mistake-free. It puts you in the right frame of mind when you can play like that. And as long as they keep protecting the ball in the next 2 quarters, they will protect the lead.
And over to Kenny. How about what you saw from the Magic?
Well, they're facing a team that shot very well in the first half. Now, that being said, they probably weren't aggressive enough on the defensive end. That was the difference.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Welcome back, folks. A lot to see in that shot from high above Washington, the Capitol, the Supreme Court, the Lincoln Memorial. That is one heck of a view. And the third quarter about ready to get underway. An exceptional performance from John Wall.
And in that first half, something we don't see a lot of from him, the ability to make everyone around him better.
I don't think there's any question that that's an added bonus for this team, Greg. I'll be interested to see, can he keep it up in the second half?
The second half just about to get going here. Wizards leading by 10. Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And so in the game for the Magic, the big men are Gordon and Vucevic. Payton and Fournier are the 1 and the 2. And it's Isaac in at the 3. Here's Isaac following the basket by John Wall. No one near Payton as he lets it go. Buries the long-range jumper. Payton's got his second bucket of the night. Wall, that's a 2-pointer. Vucevic with the rebound.
And whether he's a great off-balance shooter or not, the lean is probably not the best option on that shot.
And he's got a quiet confidence about him, doesn't he, guys? I mean, he's thinking about shooting the ball as the pass is coming. And that was a real quick comeback there. Both sides showing some range.
But both teams are pulling the trigger right now, showing great confidence from behind that arc.
And they double up Payton. He dishes it to Gordon. Gortat with the steal. Here's Porter. They grab their own miss. Wall, good. And it's an 11-point Washington lead.
Yeah, with his size and athleticism, Wall is terrific at crashing the glass and putting shots back in, and it fuels the rest of his guys. Boy, he's so used to having a hand in his face that I think it caught him off guard to be that wide open.
Morris with the bucket. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. Gordon with no one around. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. And that's 19 points for Aaron Gordon.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
You can see Porter's confidence building steadily. The catch-and-shoot jumper becoming a real weapon.
And the Magic making a change here as Anya's checked in. Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
And you could argue Bradley Beal was one of the bigger all-star snubs from last season. It's great to see what he can do when finally healthy, and has always been a dangerous scorer when he's at 100%.
And with Beal, and Greg, you brought this up with his health because he hadn't been able really to play a full slate of games in his first 4 years in the NBA.
Yeah, and credit him for dedicating his efforts to improve his health. I mean, was a time when you thought injuries would maybe limit his career, but when he's on the court, he is one of the best we have at that off-guard position, and he's only going to get better.
Now a chance to take a look at the shot chart for the Magic.
And the work he's doing from deep has been fun to watch. Great looks, and he's knocking them down. His ability and threat to drop those long-range bombs on a defense really makes their offense click.
And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Poke loose. Wall with the steal. Here's Gortat, and it's Gortat finishing it off.
Just relentless. Really impressed with how they've been able to maintain that focus.
I think it's obvious, Greg. They want this win. They're showing no let-up in their attack right now.
And so here's Orlando after the basket by Washington. Gordon a screen, and there's the feed to Vucevic. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good. Vucevic has got 10 points in the game.
I tell you, Isaac has great vision for a big man. Can see over defenders easily thanks to that size. Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
You can tell they've got their foot on the gas pedal right now. No slowing down. The defense starting to look helpless.
Beal on the double team with some arc, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And you look at the post-up bangers who don't block shots at a high level. More and more we're seeing teams relegate them to that 6-man role off the bench. It'll be interesting to see how that affects a guy like Vucevic who fits that description.
And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. Biyombo, he's checked in for Orlando. Simmons comes in for Isaac. Here's Azania. 6 points for him. Hits the three-point bomb.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
Greg, why is it, do you think, that teams want those more floor-bound, post-up big men like Vucevic coming off the bench?
I think 2 things. First of all, their defensive shortcomings are less exposed playing against other reserves. Also, their ability to create offense on the block has more value with that second unit because that group tends to have their struggles in terms of scoring the basketball. And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
And that's how you answer back.
Well, you can tell that was a little give good, get good. Executed well on the offensive end, connects on the deep threat.
Washington leading now by 12. Frazier with it, outguarded by Simmons. Offensive rebound. Oubre lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Oubre's got 13.
Yeah, this guy's so fluid in transition. Just a great player, Oubre, in the open floor.
Here's Biyombo. And the dunk by Biyombo.
This guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, GA, he does not waste one of them.
He's so very quick to convert off the miss, and usually with authority.
Azania's shot is off. Washington's gotten the 3-ball working for them in the second half. They've hit 3 out of 3 shots from long range. A nice shot by Frazier.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Oh, I'll tell you, that's good basketball. You have to get a little creative against the big man, but I love his initiative.
Here's Biyombo after the basket by Washington. Pass to Azania. Shot clock at 6. Back to Simmons. There's the triple. Drains the three-pointer. Simmons got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for the Magic.
Boy, the score would look a lot different if his teammates could have had the kind of night he's had.
The Magic trail by 11. Here's Azania. He's got 9. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. It's on Kelly Oubre. You know, Doris, when it comes to leadership, there are so many different ways to do it, different ways of leading among the players who are some of the more vocal leaders out there. Who do you have circled?
You know, I think leadership sometimes, Kevin, requires that you make your teammates uncomfortable, and that's not always easy to do. So the 2 guys that come to mind for me are both Chris Paul and LeBron James. One, they're going to hold themselves to an incredibly high standard, and unless you're willing to do that, it's hard to bring everybody with you. So in terms of leadership, the guys I like watching the most right now in the current NBA are both Chris Paul and LeBron James.
Great examples.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Well, I think they've got to ramp up the pressure. There's no excuse for letting them score at will in the paint. Make them feel you.
The Magic trail by 11. And Simmons kicks to Ross. Doubled by Smith. Pass to Hazania. Back to Ross. Simmons, a screen on Wall. And the foul called on Jason Smith. And that'll be his third foul so far. Simmons against Wall. There's the pass to Hazania. Lets it go from deep. Ross, that's good. Ross has got 13 points.
Yeah, Terrence Ross in his comfort zone from distance. This guy has always had the eye of a sharpshooter.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Magic shooting has been wild, 76%. That's just unbelievable.
And a chance here to see the numbers for Bradley Beal. He had a strong showing last season. He averaged about 23 points a game last year, 3 assists and 3 rebounds. And for any other player putting up those numbers, we'd say they were great, but for him, they're just simply run-of-the-mill.
Agreed. A lot of guys in this league would be very happy with that stat line, but this guy is the real deal. He is built for more.
And Washington making a change here. Porter's checked in. Beal can't get it to go.
He does the hard part, gets through the defense all the way to the rim. I thought the finish would be the easy part.
Wasted no time on that one. Hazania's got 8 points here in this quarter.
And how about the last 5 made shots have all been threes? The defense is just giving up a barrage.
Outside, Simmons unloads. Beal pulls it in. Washington leading now by 6. Here's Mahinmi. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
And a lot of teams avoid the mid-range jumper, but they seem to be using it well.
To the paint, here's Biyombo. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got 5 assists in the game.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Well, when Porter gets that kind of room to operate inside, he's extremely dangerous.
And Simmons kicks to Ross. Pass to Hazania. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Mahinmi. Here's Porter, and finished off by Porter.
Well, Otto Porter rises up, hammers it home on the dunk, and boy, what lift he got on that one.
Simmons with it. He's picked up by Wall. Passes it to Hazania. Takes a 3, and again, it's the Magic from deep.
Making a huge difference from deep tonight. That was a big-time shot.
That's where the bulk of his offense has come from, and they're going to need a few more of them before this one's over. Boy, he has exploded. You couldn't ask for a better quarter from a guy.
Beal on the double team. Hazania kicks to Ross. And again, it's Orlando with the 3.
You have to know when to simply catch and shoot, and it serves Terrence Ross very well that time.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Wall's got 29.
Well, you can see he's feeling it right now. Shots dropping from all over the place this quarter.
And Porter comes to help. 3-pointer. There it goes. It's in, and the Wizards' lead is cut down to just 6 points, and the bucket from Hazania.
And really, the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
Now, we come to expect John Wall will make the right play, creates yet another open look.
Simmons against Wall. And out of bounds as the Wizards gain possession.
Well, he's obviously anticipating different movement there, and instead of an easy connection, the pass sails straight into the front row.
Shot on the wing. That one doesn't go. And up the court come the Magic on the break. Lets it go from 11. Up again. Washington with the rebound. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. And so it's the Washington Wizards in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. We come back right after this. Now let's listen in to Frank Vogel's huddle.
Play for each other, creators and receivers. Okay, share the ball. Here we go.
Want everyone on the same page offensively. Frank Vogel saying to each man, do it for your teammates.
And, I love the fact that he's promoting the spirit, the camaraderie between his guys. When they're working together, they are a lot harder to stop.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play getting started. The deadly duo of Wall and Beal are in the backcourt. Morris and Gortat together down low. And it's Porter at the 3 slot. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington.
I'll tell you, that vertical ability he has puts him in select company in NBA power forwards. May not have great size, but boy, he plays bigger than it. Well, guys, his scoring has been maybe the biggest factor in building this lead, and he's got plenty of energy left.
Beal on the double team. And Fournier kicks to Simmons. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
Man, this has been fun. I mean, we got two teams dueling down the stretch.
Boy, does it feel to you, Greg, like every single shot is going through the bucket? That's how lethal both of these teams have been late in this one.
Wall with the steal. Over Simmons. Orlando grabs the miss. Biyombo's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Lets it go with a 3. That one's good, and the Wizards' lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Simmons.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Tough to bother that shot, right? Otto Porter with prototypical size and length at the small forward.
Beal on the double team. Knocked loose. Biyombo with it. He's picked up by Wall. Good on the shot.
Yeah, the defense not closing out in time. He's too quick and too good to miss many of those.
Chalk up 2 there. Wall's got 6 points in the quarter.
Yeah, the defense didn't bother him right there. Wall able to convert.
Gordon a screen. Oh, and here comes Wall all alone. And Wall with the slam.
Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
He rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Now a timeout called by Orlando. Doris, we're always talking about players developing their skill sets. What do you think is the hardest skill to develop as a broadcaster?
I think for me the hardest skill to learn was to learn how to relax, to have fun, to not be anything but your most authentic self, because I think the viewer picks up on it. If you're forcing things, if you're trying to be another broadcaster that perhaps you like to emulate. So I'd say that was the hardest thing.
I always say broadcasting a basketball game is like a running conversation between 2 people because there's so much scoring and the rhythm and the flow of the game just lend itself to it.
At its best, you're 100% correct.
Isaac's checked in for Orlando. Payton comes in for Simmons. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
During that break, Frank Vogel had some real words for his team. He was begging them to step it up. He said, we've got to make the move now, or we're going to be out of time and out of luck. Give it everything you've got out there. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Near the 3-point line, it's Morris. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. And that's now 17 points for Markieff Morris. Dishes to Fournier. Biyombo, the pass to Payton.
And Elfrid Payton, the 10th pick back in that 2014 draft. And remember, the Magic looked at him as their point guard of the future. And last season, at times, he was coming off the bench. And it's been about that lack of progress as a shooter that I think is the biggest concern with this team.
Here's Wall. Fires from the wing. Another one falls for Washington.
I'd say that's a good contest right there, but John Wall is locked in.
Pass to Isaac. He feeds it to Gordon. Gets an open look and hits. Gordon's got 4 points this quarter.
Wow, and how huge has he been today? Really just giving his team a nice lift.
They'd be in a much deeper hole without his contributions, no doubt about it.
And they are earning points with the jump shot now.
Isaac misses. Washington leading now by 12. Morris into the lane. In, and his hot hand continues. 10 of 11 from the floor and looking for more.
Well, playing with a high level of activity inside. This is the Morris we like to see.
And Morris comes over to help. The dish to Biombo. Pass to Isaac. 11 feet away, and Orlando again with the bucket.
Yeah, I like the concentration there. Isaac showing how skilled he is on the block. Feels like no one can stop him.
He gets it in there.
And look, if he gets it that low, he's going to hurt you.
Right, you can't be surprised when he burns you. The defense must force him out of the paint.
Now here's Fournier. Here's Isaac, covered by Wall. And Porter comes to help. Here's Gordon. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Well, he's been shooting it so well because he's been so active, moving and working to get high percentage shots.
Vucevic checked in for Orlando. Doris, much to the chagrin of basketball purists, we're seeing the near extinction of the mid-range game. Is there a way to reverse this trend?
Kevin, I don't know that we're seeing the extinction of it, and I would point directly to the Finals MVP, Kevin Durant, because if you look at some of his success, it is directly in the mid-range. Russell Westbrook has some effect in the mid-range. I mean, listen, certainly the priority is on layup and three, but I don't think we've seen the extinction of the mid-range. I think this is a cyclical type of situation in the NBA, very much the way we've gone away from a low post center. Would a player that's a next level, next generation kind of player change our thinking about that? Let's see. The game is always in a constant state of evolution.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
I'll tell you, he's relentless right now. He's going straight at the defense and knocking down a lot of shots in this quarter. He's hit 4 now from behind the arc, 2 in each half, making an impact.
Washington calls timeout.
And really, whether you're up or down, it's a game of adjustments.
Well, I like to see them mix it up a little bit. You've got to keep the opposition off balance.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, John Wall.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. Washington leading now by 16. And Washington again with the bucket.
Boy, we're getting to the stretch run, and this guy has not cooled off. He is not about to let this lead slip away.
And Porter comes to help. Fournier against Beal. Fournier dishes to Vucevic. Good ball movement here by the Magic. And it's sent back by Morris.
Well, the tools, the instincts to do this on a more regular basis are certainly there for Markieff Morris. He gets every bit of that one. Well, he's a guy that can adapt and adjust to any defense he's up against. It's really something to watch.
Payton with the ball. He's picked up by Wall. Beal with the steal.
Just terrific recognition by Beal. Saw the lane and drew the contact.
And he makes the first.
I don't think there's any doubt, guys, that last season was the best season in Bradley Beal's young career. It was the most points per game, and he did so while shooting 48%. Just really impressive.
And they double up Peyton. Beal with the steal. And finished off by Beal.
He's in a really good rhythm right now. Count another one for Bradley Beal.
Here are the Magic now. For Beal, his improvement wasn't only in the scoring department.
Well, no doubt. I thought he had a strong case for most improved player when you look at the areas he elevated his game. Career high in assists, career high in threes made, as well as free throws taken. I mean, what more could you ask for?
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Fantastic anticipation. Then he shows major explosiveness converting at the other end.
And so here's Orlando after the basket by Washington. 5 on the clock. Fournier for 3. Gord's out with the rebound.
And they just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Greg, I think this other team is just in a zone right now. They're clicking on the offensive end, and the defense starting to look frustrated.
Here's Fournier after the made shot from Bradley Beal. They need this, and Evan Fournier good for 3. They are enjoying the commanding lead.
And it really gives them the opportunity to give their starters a rest. Always critical when you get ready for that home stretch.
You can see the satisfaction John Wall takes in making those jumpers. He continues to improve in that area.
And they double up Peyton. Here's Isaac, guarded by Porter. Inside. Peyton, that's good. Peyton's got 5 points now this quarter.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Wizards.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Wall.
Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
It's tipped. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Morris.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
Well, superb awareness, Greg, right? Not allowing them to get comfortable running their offense, being super aggressive.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Jody Meeks comes in for Porter, and Tim Frazier subbed in for John Wall. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Spates checked in for Aaron Gordon. Flalo comes in for Isaac. Jonathan Simmons is checked in for Evan Fournier. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Elfrid Payton. Here's Simmons following the bucket by the Wizards. Picked by Vucevic. Simmons with it. Now guarded by Gortat. Clock at 6. Shoots from the baseline. Beal pulls it in. Here's Meeks. Plays it up off the glass.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
I think that's exactly the mentality you have to have. You don't want to give this team any hope of coming back.
And it's the Magic with the ball. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks. With John Wall. John, it sure looks like the chemistry is coming together. What is the bond like with your teammates?
We enjoy playing with each other. We have great chemistry. We all work hard, and we know how much we mean to each other, how much we work every day, and we're just trying to keep getting better each game.
Well, the work is paying off, John. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.